This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews, all on the app. Download today.
This podcast is brought to you by Coral, and they're here for the fans. At the Fan Network, we have a mission to shake up the game we all love, and that's why we partnered with Coral, who've been shaking things up too. With their free-to-play rewards shaker, there are guaranteed rewards and exclusive offers to be won every single day. Whether you're a part of the Badging Brigade, the Away Dayers, or the Football Fashionistas, Coral's here for the fans. Play Coral's rewards shaker and win bigger guaranteed daily rewards and offers this season. For over 18s only, maximum one reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions and requirements and other T's and C's apply. Visit gambleaware.org for more details.
Welcome to this week's episode of Tilton Talk, sponsored by AMG Logistics.
With myself, Paul Hipkiss, Mr. Road, Mark Adams.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's okay.
The one and only Claire Wielden.
Good evening.
Welcome back, Claire.
Thank you.
Mr. Tally Jones, sat in a very posh, either a very posh sofa or lying on his bed, one or the other.
Yeah, I'll let you guess. Evening all.
And our main producer, Mr. Chris Browne.
Good evening.
I think Craig's just having a few technical difficulties, so hopefully he'll be with us very soon. He keeps jumping in and out, so I presume 1 minute he can hear us, then he can't, etc. So hopefully he'll be with us soon and it'll all be good. Oh, he's coming back now. And Mr. Fixer, Craig Courtney.
Okay. Put the coin in the meter.
Well, I was trying to get away from you, but unfortunately it hasn't worked.
Carry on, Paul.
I was going to say another very passive, disappointing away performance at Charlton the weekend. Obviously 1-0 defeat, and there's too many. I think there's too many games like this season, isn't there? Especially away from home. We're just not getting the best out of the players that we've got, unfortunately. And Claire, you go first. I mean, I know you want to sort of vent frustrations, don't you? I do feel
I think
all the way down there to watch that.
Yeah, I think a difficult one, really. There's been plenty of times where we've been really happy with performances and we haven't got anything out the game. I wish. I'm not going to lie. How many times have we come on here after an away performance? Probably Norwich has got to be probably one of the ones. I think the away fans are frustrated. Tally, I don't know how long it took you to get down there. It takes about 3 hours there, 3 hours back.
Yeah, we was on the train, so we got there a bit earlier.
Yeah, it's not that they're not trying. It's just so frustrating at times. There's no plan B. We play the same system. We're easy to scout as a football club. Middlesbrough, I know I wasn't on obviously earlier on, but Middlesbrough, they changed their whole system to get a result and they were so much better. Obviously, Charlton, they're not a good side. They just boot the ball forward and hope, and we could have really capitalised on it. I thought first half, we didn't even have really a shot on target, to be honest. No. And I mean, the fact that Chris Davies then went, I was comfortable with that first half performance. I think a lot of us were a bit shocked by that comment. I thought Vicente played quite well the first half. I thought he gave us a little bit. He had some energy. Prisk obviously got the yellow card, which completely had to change his game. But there was just no oomph. Like, second half, you're thinking, right, we're going to come at these. And we just didn't. Like, we've had, 2 shots on target away from home. When you go and watch a football match, you want some goal-mouth action. You want to see some pride and some passion. And we were going sideways and backwards. And unfortunately, I think it was just on par with Watford, to be honest.
Yeah.
There was just nothing there. Like, Damari Gray was making runs, Prisk, and as soon as they make the run, they change. It's like Wagner. I've been discussing this today with my mum and some of my family, and I was saying Wagner at one point got the ball 25 yards out. 2 games in, he would have thrown that straight into the box and whipped it in. He's now stopping to go sideways and backwards. Vicente, we bought him to run down to the byline to cross that ball in. He's starting to check back. It's like the subs. The subs warm up, and then they're waiting 5 minutes. And obviously I'm not like, a physio, but it doesn't make sense. Don't warm up and then wait on the side for 5 minutes. The subs don't make sense to me. We've got 2 right backs on the bench. You've got Iwata at right back, then he was centre mid, then he was centre back. And it's like he has to keep him on, and it doesn't make any sense to me. I know that he tries hard and everything else, but it doesn't make any sense. Dykes was winning every ball in the air. They huffed and puffed, and then the goal was from a simple throw-in. But we can't do the throw-in because you're not playing Jack Robinson in there. We don't get the ball into the box. If we got the ball into the box, anything can happen. But then we've got no one in there.
Yeah, I
and I know it's negative, but there's not a lot of positives I can say. We're just like Stano. Stano would have been perfect for that game first half. Absolutely brilliant. Because at the moment, and I'll say this now, Duck has to be probably one of the laziest footballers I've ever seen. And I will make that. I know he scores goals, but all the goals are to his feet. All the goals are laid on a plate for him. Look, every goal, they're there in front of him. He doesn't header, he doesn't jump, he doesn't tackle. And to me, it's like you're playing with 10 men. And it doesn't work. You either need to... I would play 3-5-2 away from home. And I've said that before. Because you can have 3 really good centre-backs. You can have Clara, Newman, and even Robinson or Panzo. I think Robinson would be great for some long throws. I think you could have Prisk and Stano up top. If you want Sawata in the middle, he could play him, Paik and Doyle. And then you can have the wingers down the side. It's just frustrating. And I think that, we're trying to find something positive. And I know that we played well against Norwich in the first half. But the shackles were off. We were free. They were running at them. And then we play against Charlton, a team that we should be beating. We should be beating Charlton. And it's just so frustrating. And I just think the squad is so good. And I've got to admit, I'm on the point where I think that he's taken us as far as he can. If there's no plan B, especially away from home, I think at home, we're free, we're open, we go for it. But I think away from home, we struggle. And I mean, I know, and I've been there the last 10, 15 years going home and away. So I've seen us with the Rooney. I've seen us with, Cottrell losing 6-0 at Brentford. I've been there, I've seen it, I've done it. But I just think it's just so frustrating. And there's so many players there that are really good players that I just don't think we're seeing their full potential. And I just think it's very, very frustrating when you're spending hundreds, even into thousands, trying to just all we want is some goal mouth action. I don't care about possession. I want to see some do you know what? It's the performance. It's not even that we lost. It's how we're losing at the moment. Middlesbrough, we didn't play well. Millwall, we didn't play well. And Charlton. And we had 13 cup finals. And now we're on the beach with not really a lot to play for, to be fair. And I can't, sorry for the rant, but that's where I'm at.
So would you change it now then, Claire? Would you change Chris Davies?
I think he'll have till the summer.
Okay,
but I do worry because I do think people are turning. And I think last year he did wonders for us. Don't get me wrong, brilliant football. But again, we didn't roll teams over. We weren't absolutely battering teams. A lot of the teams sat back and we struggled a lot. I think the recruitment has been good in January and I wish that was the recruitment in the summer. But I do worry, I just worry about it, to be honest, because I think that I would have Thomas Frank, to be fair. Thomas Frank or Brendan Rodgers. I just think that the no plan B, and I've said all along, the Paik-Iwata and Beadle situation will be his downfall. But I thought Paik played really well on Saturday, I've got to admit. I thought it was one of his good games. But we've got so much talent there that I just don't think we're using it very well. And the thing is, we don't change any plan. Even throw Robinson up top when we're losing 1-0 with 10 minutes to go. Do something else. You play Kanya centre midfield for 5 minutes. He's not going to do anything there, is he?
No.
It just didn't make any sense.
I think he's struggling to know what his best 11 is now as well with all these new players. You know, you've got Roberts sitting on the bench now suddenly, Stansfield sitting on the bench now suddenly. You know, these were nailed on starters before the January window and two of our best players, really. Now they can't get in the starting 11. So, yeah, it is a bit bizarre, but I, for one, am prepared to give him the rest of this season and possibly the summer window. And then if we're no better, say, come Christmas time, then address it. But I do think, you know, that he does deserve that. I think from what he's done for us so far, I know it's a bad run at the moment. We were on a good run before that, don't forget as well. We were unbeaten in 8 games.
But think about who we played in those 8 games. And I've said this before, we had 2 at the bottom that we played away. We had Cambridge.
Yeah.
You know, if we're talking about some of the teams all below us.
Yeah, we did beat Coventry. We did beat Coventry at home and Norwich away as well, which, you know, it deserves credit for.
Oh, yeah, Coventry at home, brilliant, but we had less possession.
Yeah, Leicester as well.
We played on the front foot. We were attacking.
Yeah, we need to just do that every time we play. I mean, obviously there's another team on the pitch and you do have to adjust to their tactics, but we're just not risky enough. We don't take enough risks. We get the ball and it's almost like the players don't want it. They just want to pass it. I mean, like last week against Middlesbrough as an example, you know, going back to Beadle as an easy way out for every single defender is not the answer. You know, get it up the pitch and let's try and hurt the opposition. Let's not just play it safe all the time. Because to me, like I said last week, it's just like a boxer going in the ring with his hands tied behind his back, you know, having a fight. He's just not going to hurt. He's not going to hurt anybody, is he? And that's what we're the football equivalent to that at the moment. But Tally, obviously your day was miserable as well, I guess, and obviously that long journey there, that long journey back, and give us your thoughts, mate.
Yeah, look, Claire's right. It's difficult to see a positive of what we saw on Saturday, and, you know, based on the results that we've seen for the past couple of games, well, the last 3 games, you know, everyone will be calling for change. The game itself, I think it passed us by. It seems like a disconnect with some of the players, like, they don't know where they've got to go. The easy option is to pass sideways or backwards. But I don't know, I think with subs, we replace players with the same players. So you're bringing on a winger for a winger, but, you know, you've got to change the tactics because you're just replacing. You're not changing for the benefit, you know, for the better, are you? So I think it's difficult, but I'm on, you know, on the side of, I watched that video, what they did with Blue Rising, and yeah, we are seeing some poor results. It's hard to get a positive, but look at what we've done since he's come on board.
Yeah,
I think he deserves that little bit more credit for what he's done. We've got a load of new players, like Claire said, some class players on there. So we've got some great players. Maybe they need a little bit more time to adjust, gel, understand the concept of his, you know, of his tactics. And yeah, he does. I think he does need a plan B, but maybe he needs someone to come on board and offer him a bit of experience. So we keep saying it every week. Is that it's his first season in the Championship as a Championship manager.
Yeah, that for me, that person I would bring into the coaching staff would be an attacking coach.
100%.
We're advertising for another set-piece coach, I believe. I don't think we need another set-piece coach. I think we need, or as well as, not, you know, if we're going to get another set-piece coach, let's do it. But we also need an attacking coach. You know, I'll never forget that season James Beattie was here and Shay Adams scored over 20 goals. You know, nobody's
a striker out of the blue, didn't he?
Totally agree, Paul. Do you know what? I think we actually need a whole new backroom staff, to be fair. A lot of them just sit there. I mean, Ground just points his fingers and tells everyone where to go. But he wasn't the best left back we've ever had, is he?
No.
And, you know, Knighthead have said, we're going to give world class all over the pitch, world class. I don't think our backroom staff is. Tom Huddleston, probably yes, played in the Premier League, really good midfielder, technically really, really good. But the rest of them, I mean, Ashley Cole was brilliant, wasn't he, when we had him as well? James Beattie. We need some experience to help him, I think.
I think, to be honest, sorry, Tally, it doesn't matter sometimes what you was like as a player, though. I mean, where did Thomas Frank play? We're all chatting for him. Where was he as a player?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jose Mourinho, Arsene Wenger, you know, all these amazing managers.
Some of the best managers in the world weren't very good players. But I just think we need to realise that we can say all these names, but would Thomas Frank come to Birmingham City? Would Brendan Rodgers come to Birmingham City? I think we've got Brendan Rodgers, had him as his right-hand man. He's developed Davies over the years. Yeah. So I think we all need to... I was with a lot of people on Saturday, and the journey home was very negative. It was, 20-odd players, can't do this, can't do that. But do you know what? We're still learning and growing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's years gone by where managers have been at clubs for a little while and they've had not a brilliant start or not a brilliant, time of it, and then they've gone on to be really good. You know what I mean? So, given the time, I'm hoping that, because don't forget, it is his first season as a manager at this level, and he's only his second season ever as a manager. So, some people might say, well, that's not what we need right now, but I'm prepared to give him time. I'm prepared to give him the rest of this season, the summer, and then address it come Christmas time. And if we ain't no better then yeah, it probably needs looking at, to be honest, because I don't know whether United will want to hang around much longer with this sort of mediocrity at this level. Because, everything. I think the other thing is as well, all the stuff going on off the pitch in the club is phenomenal. That is world class, isn't it? Even what they've done to St Andrews in a short time.
100%.
So they just need, it's going to take longer to get it to that level on the pitch. So, Robe, your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I mean, we can't sugarcoat it, can we? I think the tide's changed. I mean, since say the Leeds game, I thought that was like a new dawn, but it proved to be a false dawn. It's just been awful. It's been nothing to galvanise us, nothing to sort of build towards. It looks like we're on the beach, like Claire said, with like 10 games left. Yeah. And really, the players should be playing to show that they can play at this the level. And the manager, he's got to be, busting a gut, show that he's the man to take us forward. But at the moment, like we've all said, it's all right changing personnel, but there's a lack of any sort of plan. And it's a bit worrying. I mean, I think we should give into the rest of this season and see if we can finish with a flourish. If we have a storming end to the season, the next 10 games, get a bit between our teeth, break into the top 10, then I'd say give them a little bit of next season. But at the moment, I don't know what's going to. I can fully understand if they did change the manager in the summer, because it's just not inspiring at all. It's not inspiring to us as fans, and I imagine it's not really inspiring to the players. I mean, what's happened to? I mean, Panzo, for example, he started like a world beater, didn't he? The last couple of games, he's more of like an egg beater. It's like it sounds stupid, but what's going on? Why can't he keep that level of performance? Firstly, I'd bring Robinson back in to give Panzo a break, to be honest.
How much football did Panzo play before he came to us?
He played most. Yeah, he had played most of the season.
He played in Portugal. Yeah. I know. I mean, like I say, he's playing for his future, isn't he? Because he's only got a contract to the end of the season, I believe.
Well, he's supposed to be our fourth choice centre back, and then the two that he's replaced, Newman, we chased for months and months, and now he can't even get in the team.
That's what I don't get. I don't know. I'm just so on the fence with it now. I mean, part of me thinks, having a good end to the season, see what he can do in the summer. But then, like Paul said a minute ago, we're coming to March, and he's acting like he doesn't know his best team, and that's worrying. That's really worrying.
He has brought a lot. They did bring players in January, didn't they? So
yeah, I get that. But I don't know. There's just something not right. There's just something. As a manager, he's supposed to manage and inspire confidence, like Chris does with us on a Monday night. But we're just not seeing it. We're just not seeing it at all. It's just the same old. It's like Groundhog Day, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that they're too. It's almost like they're afraid when they've got the ball, if you know what I mean. They just want to pass it off to the next. They want to pass it off to the next man. They don't want it,
They don't want. That's the thing, Paul. And it's like we said, the handbrake's on, isn't it, all the time?
Yeah. I mean, not all the time. I mean, some of the performances this season have blown my mind, to be honest.
At home, 100%. I've got no problem with at home. It's the away performances, which we haven't got mentally. There's got to be something that happens when we're away, because we've had this for years and years and years of going away. Like sometimes we've seen 4 wins. So something about our away mentality that has got to change. And I would rather be mid-table for home form and away form than being brilliant at home and awful away, because it just doesn't work. And if you look at Coventry, they're near the top for both. That's why they're top of the league.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not being we're not being arrogant, but there's no way that Wrexham squad should be so far ahead of us.
No.
They've worked smart, haven't they? They've worked smart. They've recruited well. They've got players with championship experience, you know.
As Paul said last week, they've bought for the now, haven't they?
They brought British, They've brought championship experienced players, and we haven't.
Yeah.
So, it's just, it's frustrating. It really is.
It's not all doom and gloom, though. I don't want to sit here like, this is going to be a really negative show.
No.
We've lost 3 on the trot. I know that, but look at the whole big picture this season. How long has it been since we've only lost 2 games in a season at home, in the championship, in however long it is, since August, up to now, from August to March.
I think it's fair to say, Paul, I don't think for a minute, he will be here till May, the man with the gaffer. He will. He's not going before May.
No, I'd rather not talk about him going, to be honest. I'd rather give him a bit longer, but something does need to change. He does need to realise that, what he's got there at the moment isn't quite working for him, So, like I said earlier, the first thing I would do if I was Chris Davies is I'd bring in an attacking coach. I'd bring somebody in that can work with them on the training ground, show them where the goal is and get us, because it's just as important as obviously a goalkeeper coach or a set-piece coach, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Kevin Phillips. Kevin Phillips be a good one.
Kevin Phillips, Forsell.
I think he's in a job, isn't he, at the moment?
Yeah, James.
You can quit that job, tell him, come to us.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though.
Get on the blower.
Why can't we poach people?
No,
Why can't we? Everybody else does it. If someone wanted Tom Huddleston, they'd come in and get him.
Yeah.
We had the same with Ashley Cole, didn't we?
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Someone wanted him, they took him.
Why can't we be the people that go and do it now instead of everyone taking ours?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these players that we signed in January had queues of clubs after them. We managed to prize them here, so we're not that club anymore where we're shopping in the sort of bargain basement, are we, Craig?
We're not, but I just wonder whether this whole, swapping and changing and bringing in so many players has upset us more than it has settled us. And I can't echo anymore. What we've been seeing is a team that when they go behind, they just seem to have absolutely nothing, and there's no oomph to get back into it. There's no sort of sense of urgency that's there as soon as it happens. And you look at the weekend, and we were out-battled by a team that was extremely poor, but we have nothing to come back with. Davies stands there, and am I first of all a Davies out person? Not at the moment. I agree with you, Paul. I think he'll get the remainder of this year. They may well have discussions in the summer. Who knows? But if not, I think he'll be given that window to see what he can do. But the key to all of it is don't go wholesale change. Get some experience in. Get some people in that know this league, because what we've got, and I think we said it last week, we've got a bunch of great players who have no experience of this league, and we've got nobody that stands out as being an out-and-out leader. Clara, again, at the weekend, yes, he put his foot in and he made a phenomenal tackle.
Yeah,
to keep us in it to start off with, but there's no sense of grabbing somebody by the scruff of the neck and saying, get your arse into gear. Go and do what your job is, which is to fight and show a bit more passion, because we're just missing it, and he needs support. He's young, he's still learning, but you can only go so far before people will just get to the point of no return. And I think if I look at, Wednesday evening, if we play the way that we did at Charlton and the way we did against Middlesbrough, then forget getting to the end of the game before the fans turn. They'll do it earlier. And that's a concern for me, because at home, we've got this sense of togetherness. We've got this way of working that seems to push people on. But what we also have got to do is just be consistent we've got to see players like, well, I think we've mentioned him a few times, but Damari Gray. Damari Gray has got phenomenal pace. He can take on a player, he can beat a player, he can whip in a ball, but all he's doing at the moment is running forwards, getting to the line and thinking, I better turn around and come back. Slowing the game down and reversing it. What's then happening is it's allowing all of the defenders to come back. And it happened at Charlton. A few occasions, we got down the wings, and what we saw was getting down the wing and then nobody being there, or people waiting almost on the edge of the box, waiting for a ball to be delivered. You've got to put yourself in the middle. You've got to put yourself about. And we're not doing that enough.
We're too nice. We're too nice, aren't we, Craig?
Yeah, we need to be. We need to be this horrible, horrible team that nobody likes coming up against.
Yeah, especially away from home. Especially
like a Millwall.
Yeah. Millwall are a great example of a team that, they say it themselves, don't they? We're Millwall, nobody likes us. Well, I'll tell you what, I want to be Birmingham where nobody likes us. And I don't care whether the football is tippy-tappy and looks beautiful. Actually, what I want to see is a team that fights, is hard to get a break down and hard to get past, and ultimately has a damn go at goal. Because at the moment, we're just lacking it majorly. Our strike force is non-existent. Duck's completely idle. I said it on WM on Saturday. Was he even there? Because it certainly didn't feel like it. It's time to shake a few things up again. It's time to swap a few things about. If we're going to have pace in the side, we're going to have pace that's then going to be attacking as well. And let's just see what happens on Wednesday. But he's got to grab them. Basically, he's got to grab them by the balls and just tell them, get out there and show what you can do. Get these fans behind you, not against you.
I just think that we need to stop letting the opposition as well, especially away again, bringing us down to their level. And that's exactly what happened at Charlton, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Charlton are not a good football team. We played exactly the same way as they did. It was just a long throwing into the box, a bit of a hope. And we didn't defend it properly. Dux, you mentioned Dux there. He should have really put his body on the line and had more urgency about him to block the shot. And he was kind of like just standing off, really, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He headed the ball for the first time on the 38th minute than he's ever headed it before.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And I've heard one of my friends goes to Germany quite often and to watch Hertha Berlin play. And they said, what's Dutch like? And not a lot of people had positivity. He doesn't work hard enough. He doesn't work. Somebody once went to me in the Tilton and went, he's a luxury player.
Yeah, he is.
And I said, pardon? I said, in the Championship, can we have a luxury player in the Championship? Do you name a luxury player in the Championship? Messi's a luxury player. Even Real
I think you can have one if the team around him's playing.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but you can't. Yes, he does some lovely stuff. He does one or two lovely passes or shots. You need to work hard, mate. You need to put your foot in. You need to head on that ball. You need to be running after people.
Yeah,
I think he was on the pitch. I think he was on the pitch a bit too long on Saturday.
He was on the pitch for 90 minutes. That was far too long. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, he's a good footballer with the ball, but without the ball, he needs to do better.
Indeed.
Go far ahead.
Okay.
Go on,
I'm sorry to kind of interrupt with really some sad news and shocking news. I've been informed that, unfortunately, this morning, Phil Summerill, who played 118 goal games for Birmingham, was our top scorer leading up to when Trevor Francis also came into the side and was a phenomenal out-and-out winger for the club. Unfortunately, he passed away this morning.
Oh, no.
Phil was at Birmingham and moved on to Huddersfield, Millwall and Wimbledon before ending his career, and was still living in Solihull. So I just want to say huge condolences from all of us on here to Matt and all of the family. he will be sadly missed by the club, and I am sure that come the game on Wednesday or at the weekend, we will see a tribute to Phil for all of his work and what he did at the club. So it's huge condolences to all from us, and I'm sure all of the fans, to all of the Summerill family. Phil, may you rest in peace.
Absolutely. Going back sort of 6 or 7 years now, Chris, you'll remember this. We had him in the studio, didn't we?
Yeah, what a lovely, humble chap.
He was a fantastic, really proper gentleman, weren't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
Some stories, and he was very humble. He couldn't understand why you did to him so much. It was incredible.
The one thing I'll always remember, though, is I can't remember who it was that called him Phil Summerill.
Yeah.
He corrected that person and said Summerill, so you're not allowed to pronounce the H.
No.
Summerill all the way through. And you know, what he was like when he was on the show was what he was like when I spoke to him. And many occasions would do so just over the fence in the front garden, because his house backs onto mine. And boy, did he have some stories, you know, and he's going to be sadly missed by a lot of people. And he was, like I say, phenomenal when he was at the club. And he was just such a nice, out and out gentleman, full stop, same as all of the family.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a great
Did I hear that right, Craig? Did you say his house backed onto yours?
Yeah. His back garden is literally at the side of mine. So it was only a couple of weeks ago when I saw him last in the back garden, and just a very quick chat, because it was one of those when it was really cold. So, we didn't stand around for too long. But it used to be, during the summer, we would gas bag over the fence for God knows how long. I'd come in the house and the other half would be like, "What? You've been talking football again?" And I'll never forget the first time that I met him. It was just, I was chopping trees down at the front of the house, and his wife called across and she said hello to me, and then was like, "Oh, is that a Birmingham top?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "Well, do you know who my husband is?" I'm like, "No." And then when she explained, it was just, I didn't have the privilege of watching him, but speaking to my dad and all those people that were around said what a phenomenal player he actually was, and actually was, I think, underrated by a lot of people as well with what he did at the club. And he'd suffered with ill health, but just kept going. So, I say, just a sad loss, and like I say, it's a bit of a shock at the moment, and I really do feel for the family.
I was going to say, I met him a few times over the years. My dad and him have got mutual friends. And also, when I was a kid, I remember he used to run the Little League. So I played in the Little League in Quinton, and he helped me find a team. So, yeah, he's a really nice bloke.
118 games, by the way. 46 goals. That's a good.
Was the top goal scorer and held the top record up until when Trevor took it.
He did.
That's pretty much a goal every 3 games, isn't it? More or less.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Pretty good from the wing, that is, isn't it?
Yeah. The full interview with Phil is on our YouTube site. If anybody wants to have a listen.
Yeah, might be worth us resharing it as well. I think. But yeah, God bless you, Phil. Anyway, mate, rest in peace, and sorry to hear. I'm glad that we were able to pay tribute, live to him as well. If you know what I mean. If it was going to happen, obviously, then it was. There's never a good time. Don't get me wrong, but it was nice for us to be able to pay tribute live to him, wasn't it, Craig?
Completely. And I remember when I was chatting to him and we was arranging it all, I always remember him saying, "Oh, well, what's going to happen?" And it's just a genuine chat around your time at the club and what it was like being a player and stuff. And I think he kind of forgot at the time that it was on camera at the same time as everything going out with the sound. And I could always, as well, I'll never forget at one point where it was getting towards the end of the show, and if people watch it back, you'll see it. He wells up because one of his, I think it was his granddaughter or somebody, in the family, put a message on there to say how much they cared about him and what it meant to them to hear the stories and everything else. And he was so humble about it. I think of players that would have been close to him. Gary Pendry, they were always together, the families. So that's obviously Trevor going through with the different things there, and all these people that he played with over the years as well.
This podcast is brought to you by Coral, and they're here for the fans. At the Fan Network, we have a mission to shake up the game we all love, and that's why we partnered with Coral, who've been shaking things up too. With their free-to-play reward shaker, there are guaranteed rewards and exclusive offers to be won every single day. Whether you're a part of the Badging Brigade, the Away Dayers, or the Football Fashionistas, Coral's here for the fans. Play Coral's reward shaker and win bigger guaranteed daily rewards and offers this season. For over 18s only, maximum one reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions and requirements and other T's and C's apply. Visit gambleaware.org for more details.
I'm going to be feeling it at this point, but he was just an incredibly nice guy, and would spend time talking about it with anybody. And you know, his son Matt is a member of my supporters club for Solihull, and just the other week it was his son's birthday, and we had a ground tour, and I actually arranged for him to go on the ground tour the day before his birthday, as part of the OSC, and he said afterwards, he sent me the pictures of how much the kids enjoyed it, and the message I sent to him was, now the grandkids have actually been able to tread the same path as the granddad did, and he was like, I know, it was a privilege, and you know, their season ticket holders down there as well. You know, it's just, I can see nothing but positive messages that are coming through. Richard Haylor, sincere condolences to Phil, family and friends. Love watching Phil back in the day. Paul Bennett, R.I.P. Phil. R.I.P. Phil, one of my dad's favourite players. How many goals in how many games did we say he'd have, please? That's from Richard Notwell. So it was 118 games.
Yeah, it was.
And 46 goals, I think it was.
46 goals, yeah.
So Pete Winwood, Phil was underrated. And then Phil Summerill was a really good striker. We should have kept him. So there's nothing but positives for Phil on the message board. And like I say, the club, I'm sure, will be paying a fitting tribute in one of the up-and-coming games, which we as fans can all get behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, when he came on the show, the club was in a pretty bad place. Obviously, going back 6 or 7 years, as we all know. But did Craig? Did you discuss his recent thoughts of obviously what the new owners that we have now and the stadium coming up and stuff like that? Did we ever speak to him? Did you ever speak to him about that?
Yeah, and I've got to say, I mean, some of the things, and he was like, you know, he just said it was like having that wish that had ultimately come true, which was just getting some people in there that could back it to the hilt. Yeah. And, you know, I remember when we announced the stadium, I remember saying to him about it, and you know, people's concerns around 60,000, and he was like, 60,000? Yeah, I've been there, done that. Yeah. And it was just like, you know, it's just a off-the-shoulder type of conversation. It was just like, it's just the way that it was. And he never feared that the club would get back to where they, you know, should be. I think there was that period of time where we didn't have the full support of the board and the running of the club with the ex-players. And that upset a lot of them. You know, I remember hearing the stories of the previous owners and him going down and being invited to be the guest of the day, which it was, you know, never liked to go and speak in front of people. He wasn't a public speaker. Yeah. But what he did when he went to the game was he'd go and he'd, you know, enjoy it when he could. However, they used to make him pay for the tickets. Yeah. You know, you can come to hospitality, but you're paying for it all, which was just incredibly wrong at the time. But now, you know, he had nothing but positive thoughts around what was going to take place and how we were going to go forward. And I think he also thought that at some point or other we would be back in the big league. We would be up at the front, and it's just a shame that he's not here to see it. But he's another blue nose at the top of the Tilton, looking down at us for every game now.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, rest in peace, Phil. Anyway.
Bad news.
I'm sure there'll be some fitting tributes from the club Wednesday night, I would imagine. Okay, it's hard to move on, isn't it, from something like that? So we got anything coming in on the shout boxes, Chris, from, in relation to Saturday's game? Any sort of thoughts?
There's one here that's just popped up. You can probably just see it's a good point, R.E. Dimmy, Craig. But on one moves off the ball for him, others when we go forward. We don't create space, open up opposition. When we had Maoshi, he opened up opposition with his runs on and off the ball and quick, purposeful passes.
I like Miyoshi. I thought he was decent, to be fair.
Yeah, decent player.
Yeah.
Just a bit lightweight, that's all he was, wasn't he? He had everything else.
I'm not having him over Patrick Roberts or Vicente, don't get me wrong.
No. Stronger on the ball, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do we agree with Benji that Dykes was the best striker on the park that day?
100%.
On the day. What do we think of his video after as well?
Quite telling that wasn't it?
I think that shows a lot. I think actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Another thing as well, you're a Charlton fan, you want that. You know what I mean? They're paid players, aren't they? They're not fans of the club.
No, he's not going to walk.
We clapped in, and he clapped us when he come off the pitch, didn't he? So there's a level of respect from us.
Yeah, he's not going to walk down the tunnel all miserable, is he? After he's won?
No.
You know what I mean? But interesting anyway. But yeah, I think coming back onto Chris Davies, there was a really good interview with Tommy Mooney, wasn't there? Obviously celebrating his 100th game in charge on Saturday. And a really nice book that the club put together, I thought, as well for him. I thought that was a nice touch. And obviously his parents on there giving him a nice video message and his family, etc. I thought that was really clever, wasn't it? Claire, did you watch it?
Yeah, I thought it was nice. Obviously, we were in a little bit better mood than that came out, weren't we?
Let's just look at the whole time.
100 games is good. Yeah. And obviously his win ratio is decent. Yeah, it can't all be on Chris Davies, so I think sometimes it is a little bit on the players as well.
100%.
They can move the ball quicker. They're the ones out there. They should be able to go to their captain and say, we don't agree with this. Can we work together as a club? And do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think sometimes it is on the players. But, I've got nothing against Davies as a man. I think, he's a lovely bloke. He's very family orientated. It's just obviously, unfortunately, at the moment, it's just plan A is not working.
Yeah.
Do you think that players need to stand up and be counted for as well, though? Because I think there is that
as well, isn't there?
There's an element of this where I go back to the other week when we were talking about, the players coming off the bench and they should be telling us and showing us what it means to them to play for the team. And when they get the opportunity, the FA Cup game is a good example. You had people that were standing out there and were like, "You're not going to drop me now, Gaffer." But changes were made, and I think there's an element of this now that needs to be. You're not a certainty. We talk about Stansfield. Stansfield was a certainty every game we played last season. Bar when he was injured, he was playing the games. He started this season exactly the same. He's lacking confidence, and he's dropped to the bench. Now, when we saw him come on, saw a bit of a fight, but then nobody else around him had that. And I think this is where the rest of those players now have to come forwards. And I'll tell you what we saw from Dux at home when he come out and scored the 2 goals. After taking an absolute pummeling. All right. We need to see that from every single one of them that are on the field. Forget just one. One player doesn't make a team. Right. It's those 11 that are starting the game that should be showing us on Wednesday what it means. They need to hear from us as fans what I would give absolutely anything to go onto that field wearing a Blues top and representing my club. Now, those players should be doing exactly the same. I think we're missing, at the moment, Brummies. We're missing a Brummie in the team that's going to stand out. I know Allsop's there, but it's always hard for a goalkeeper for me to be the person that stands out and he's heard the most. Well, we need some Brummie blood that's going to run through it and actually make people realise This isn't just turning out and playing a game of football and earning a few grand by kicking a ball for 90 minutes. This is actually go out, sweat blood, do everything that it means for the club, show us as fans, give us something to shout about. You know, because St Andrews can be raucous, St Andrews can be a fortress, but they've got to give something to make that happen. And I know that shouldn't always be the case. We should always fans get behind them, but actually it's hard. It's really hard because we've seen it. We now just need it back.
We've got Damari Gray as well, haven't we? As well as Allsop at Bromley.
Yeah, I think. But the problem is, we ain't got that. We haven't got that person that's going to kick somebody up in the air. Type of
Barry Ferguson. That's what we miss in the middle. A Barry Ferguson.
Or Kifton Belt. We keep saying it, but Kifton Belt as well.
I think prior to his red card, Solis was getting that. You could see he had a bit of spite in him. But watching him against Charlton, you could see he was watching where his legs were. He was less. He didn't commit as much as he did with the previous games, and I think that's the 21-year-old again learning English football.
Yeah,
but you're right. You need someone with a bit of fight in the middle. You know, like Craig said, when Stano come on, he wanted to change the game, but the players around him didn't do that along with him. So one player can't take on a team, can they?
No, we got. Sorry, Rob, go on.
No, I was just going to say there's a lot of finger pointing. I mean, somebody's got to take responsibility. I mean, the Middlesbrough game, they're pointing at me at one point. Oh, what have I done?
Well, we got 10 games to go now. Let's treat that as like a mini season and see how many points we can get out of that 30. That's what I'd be saying to him.
I love this comment from Jason Hughes. We need a Bromley with strong leadership qualities. Bring back Tommy Shelby. I know it sounds really daft, but it's that sort of mentality that we are actually lacking. We are actually missing that nastiness, that ruthlessness in the team.
Sorry, the nastiness, that's great. But, for instance, the game what we just played, we never got one decision against.
No, that's right.
You know, everything look at Damari Gray, gets chopped in the Achilles, and he just talks to the player and waves it off. Then Prisk is attacking for the ball. Yeah, he left it in a little bit, but the player overegged it. He gets a yellow straight away. So I think sometimes we've got to be careful.
Yeah, Tally, what about Dykes on bloody Wagner
he was on Allsop, weren't he, as well?
Yeah.
The referee wasn't great, I've got to admit.
He liked to chat with him. It was every time, something was going on in the box, our players were getting shoved all over the place. He went over, had a chat, and then that's it. Nothing happened. So I think there's one player, and Claire's going to like me for this one, but there's one player that needs to get on that pitch with a big smile on his face. I know he's almost like I don't know, we could call him a Brummie now, the way he is with the fans. You need that fan interaction. And I said it from the beginning. We had it with Alfie May, but we're blessed with it with Ethan Laird. G'ing the fans up. He'll get on there, get him in his right position, and I think you'll see some change. You really will.
He's got pace. He's also got aerial ability. So
he wins everything.
Like Prisk, his whole game changed when he got yellow carded because he wasn't able to show any physicality at all. And then number 5 just beat him in the air. That's why they think he's, I don't know, some amazing centre back. Yeah. But he couldn't do anything. And then Duck's not going to win a header.
No.
Damari Gray's not going to win a header. Vicente's not going to win a header. So actually, when we were playing well last season, Allsop was pinging the ball. And by the way, Allsop's distribution was good again. Really did help get us up the pitch as well. Had a lot
especially when Osman come on the pitch.
And we were pinging it to Laird to header it on. And he would go round them and add on that bit of...
I think what you said about players standing on the sideline, subs, there's got to be something said about that. It almost got to warm up again before they go on. They're waiting around that long.
For I think 12 minutes or something at one point. I can't. It was around
Kenya as well. Kenya was on the.
And bring them on.
Yeah, but you got players like Laird that is injury prone.
Yeah,
he's got to warm into a game. You can't give him 10 minutes to warm. Hamstrings take a lot longer than that to warm into a game. So I think get him starting, play him in his true position. If you want to put Iwata in the middle, put him in the middle.
But Iwata and Pake come straight back in.
See, I don't
and
agree
I think
with that.
That's the only problem because, for example, Doyle, when he was out, we were like, oh, he needs minutes. Iwata's been out for 2 or 3 weeks. Bang, he's back in. Paik played half an hour. Bang, he's back in. Laird needs minutes. All these other players need minutes, apart from 2.
And talking of minutes as well, it was good to see Lee Buchanan get 45 minutes as well for the under-21s. Yeah, that was great.
He will be a good player, I think, and you can use him as centre-back as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's a bit more, he's versatile, isn't he?
Yeah, but just assuming that everyone's available tomorrow, i.e. Beadle's back, and, what would be our 11s? And I'll put this out to all our viewers as well. What would be your team tomorrow, Wednesday night, against QPR? If assuming Beadle's back, would anyone actually go with Beadle and pick him over Allsop?
No, I wouldn't.
I don't want to open this debate. No. So we're all going Allsop in goal. Do we all agree?
Yep.
Okay, Craig, do you agree, Craig?
I'm always, me, I'll sit on the fence. I get this feeling that he'll be back. I really
No, I'm not asking what Chris Davies would do. I'm asking what you do.
Me personally, we need stability. So he's been out. We need to have a stable team. We need to get a team that's going to be hard to break down. So look, I don't think we'll change anything on Wednesday, but maybe the weekend they might change stuff again. But we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So right back on. I think we all agree on Laird, do we? I think he's ready to start now, isn't he?
Ready to start now.
Yeah.
Are we all in agreement on Clara as captain at the back, as for the first centre half?
Yeah.
And then who would we have next to him? I think I'd go with Robinson.
Robinson. I'd have Robinson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Someone said to me on Saturday, Neumann didn't do much wrong.
No, he didn't.
No,
When Neumann plays, though, Clara has to go to the left.
That's the only negative. That's it.
Yeah, he's not anywhere near as good on the left side as he is on the right, Clara.
I agree.
So you have to play him in his best position. But you are right. Norman didn't do a lot wrong. But I would just go with Robinson for the left footer or right footer for that reason. And obviously Robinson's got more experience and knows the league inside out.
At this stage, definitely.
Yeah, I think left backs are tapping in it.
He's got no other option, has he? Really, other than
even if he had, I wouldn't drop Wagner anyway. Would you?
No, but you've just said about Buchanan. If Buchanan was
in the first game, just get that ball into the box first time.
Yeah, and then the 2 holding midfielders. Would we all have Big John Solis as one?
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah, and then I don't think he's done anything wrong.
Would we have Pate next to him?
Yeah, I thought Pate and Solis did all right.
Yeah, they're a good partnership. I was impressed with them when I seen them before. So we're all agreeing on Pate and Solis, the 2. Yeah. Okay, right wing.
Vicente.
Vicente. I think he's on his day. He's class.
See, Roberts hasn't done a lot wrong for me.
I just think
I don't see him as a right midfielder
because he's coming in all the time.
Yeah.
I think that makes it a bit more unbalanced. I'd rather Roberts come on.
Yeah.
To run at defenders at the 70th minute or something like that. I think he adds more. Do you mean?
Okay.
Dynamic.
Yeah, and then on the left,
Dimmy,
yeah.
I'm going Osman. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
just for the pace more than anything.
And would we all go Stansfield and Prisk as the 2?
Yeah,
I think
Yeah. Pretty much all in agreement there, to be honest. So let's see how close that team is on Wednesday night to that. I do agree with you though, Craig. I do think if Beadle's available, he will pick him. But yeah, I certainly wouldn't. But I know he would. He will. So it's all about, obviously, the only person whose opinion matters is his, isn't it?
Yeah.
He obviously sees him as the first choice goalkeeper. So let's just get behind him. I just think even on Saturday, I know we lost, but Allsop's, like you said earlier, Claire, Allsop's distribution was still good, wasn't it, in that game?
It was still good. He makes everyone else feel like calmer.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you can just tell everyone's just like, oh, he's calmer. And also he knows what he's going to do beforehand, so he helps build a tempo. It's just a shame that we get to the halfway line and then our tempo drops. Last season, we had so much intensity fighting for that ball back. Like even Kyogo, at least he built some of intensity and tried to get the ball back up the field. Now we just let them come out.
I think, you know what, with Kyogo on the pitch, even though, time's passed now and he hasn't really done much for us, he's always deemed as a threat. So that takes focus off other players and gives them an opportunity to break through. So, I don't know. Someone's just put there, would you put Kyogo back in and give him some minutes?
Why not?
I'd rather have more strikers on the bench than 4 defenders.
Yeah.
You've got 2 right-backs who do the same job.
So you're 1-0 down and you bring in a defender on. It isn't really the way forward, is it, really, when you're losing? You want to be bringing on as many players as you can.
We've got nothing to lose now, have we? I mean, it's that stage of the season. We can just go for it,
Yeah.
Just go for goals.
As I keep saying, take the handbrake off.
Take the handbrake off. And some of our viewers have mentioned Chris Wood. He'd be ideal.
Twice he'd be mentioned,
I mean...
He'd take care on the Dukey role, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got what we got now for the rest of the season, but let's see where we are in summer with all that. But that's a good shout for the summer, for next season.
He'd be perfect.
Yeah. I think he's been injured for a while, hasn't he? I don't think he's quite played for...
No.
Yeah. So I believe we've got a comment from the chairman as well, Chris.
I was just sending it on actually, but I'll read it to you. Right, okay. From our good friend Alan. I don't want to come on, but would you mention this? The Blues fans' behaviour coming out of the ground and getting on the train was embarrassing. Travelling back to London was torturous. Cut it out, he says. Cut it out. There has been too many calls for removal of Chris Davies. Not only the keyboard warriors, but established website. Cut it out. There we go.
Alan's obviously behind him as well then, yeah?
Yeah.
I echo what he says.
I think the one thing that I would say is, obviously, we just mentioned there, and Alan's mentioned there as well, the social media and the internet side of things. We've seen an announcement this week in regards to the club and the, should we say, discriminative, that's worse, language that was used at the Middlesbrough game. And there is no place for that in our club. As fans, we can all have a say, but there's a line, and that line was crossed with some of the comments that were made, not only by and accusations of away fans making comments, but also our own fans turning on players. It's just simply it's a sounding board. Social media is a poison that's easily spread, and it's easy for somebody to hide behind a keyboard and type stuff. The thing that I would say is, it's hard for us to monitor it, you know what I mean? We see comments coming through all the time, and we sometimes think to ourselves, what are they? What's this being, angled at and stuff like that? And we have to monitor it ourselves. But simply the stuff that's going on and the way it's being done and the things that are being said, that's not us. That's not Birmingham fans. We're not like that. We're polar opposite, and I just wish it would stop. Vent anger in the right way, put it into passion to back the team. Don't hurl abuse and the type of language that's being used. It's not on, and I think that's being echoed a lot in the comments and message board as well this evening. I have got to just come back to one comment. It's been put on by GCon 1875. Strange that Craig didn't blame the loss at Charlton on those fans on the beer boat again this year. My question to you is, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you explain it, maybe? So it's
your fault anyway. So
it's all my fault. Everything's my fault. I'll take it. I'll let Rob off for a week.
Yeah, now you know how I feel.
I think the only way you're going to stop abuse on social media is, I've said this before on the show when we've had police on and stuff in the past, that you should have to register. You should have to register to have a Facebook, Twitter, I'll still call it Twitter, X, or Instagram account. And you should have to register with, obviously, all your address, all your details, your date of birth, obviously show a form of ID to register as well. And then once they've got that, if you put anything out there with your name against it, and obviously it's coming back on you, innit? So
people need to be held to account, unfortunately, though, as we know. I always use it to click on open, stick in a false email address and just open an account. You know what I mean? It's done. It's easily done.
That's what the ID's for, Craig, though. You know what I mean? You show your driving licence, you show your passport.
I've got to show something, yeah.
Yeah. 100%. That's the only way they're going to solve the problem. And it would change it overnight, I think.
Completely.
But until that happens, then anybody can just go online and register or set up an account on any social media platform and say what the hell they like.
And may I add, at times get away with it because it's hard to.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, don't do it at our club. We're bigger, we're better, and we're well ahead of all of that. We don't need any of that rubbish around.
Absolutely. 100%. I want to say happy birthday to Jeremy as well, our legendary fan. Obviously, come on, Blues. It was his birthday yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I wanted to wish him a happy birthday. I absolutely love the man whenever I see him. He always puts a smile on your face, doesn't he, whenever you see Jeremy? And I've got some lovely pictures with him with when I went to my daughter's first away game in Rotherham. Can't speak. We had a great photo me and my daughter did with him as well, and we went on the same coach and stuff, so it was brilliant. Brilliant day out, and happy birthday for yesterday, Jeremy. Keep right on, mate. Yeah.
Can I quickly ask, sorry, Paul, can I just quickly ask what people's opinions are on the playoff expansion?
Oh, yes. 16.
I'm coming on to that, actually. Have you got my list there? I'm coming
You've just been here.
I know,
I've been through your wallet.
Paul, is that your top he's got hanging up? I'm just double checking.
Yeah. I wonder where it was.
No, yours in the wash, Paul. Yours in the wash.
I think from a financial point of view for clubs in the in the Championship, it's a good thing, obviously. It makes it a bit more interesting. I don't know, though. I mean, I've always said that the top three should go up. You know what I mean? Somebody could potentially finish 30 points ahead of the team in 8th, in 3rd, and not get promoted. But I suppose
Sheffield United last year, prime example, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I've never agreed with that, but it is what it is, isn't it? And if you're going to bring it, I mean, how exactly is it going to work with 6 teams?
It's going to. So.
Someone said this.
3rd and 4th sort of sit back and wait, and 5th play 8. I feel like Alan Partridge when he did his '94 World Cup countdown. I didn't start. So 5th against 8th, and then 4th against 6th. I don't know.
He's only got one job. Can you count Rope?
Yeah, five play 8, 6 against 7, and then hang on. Five against 8. And 6 against 7, and then can we talk about the weather now instead?
I wish I had the vast So I think you was right first time though. I think 4th,
3rd and 4th sit back, and then 5 play 8, 6 against 7, and then those 2 winners play 3rd and 4th.
And not just that, what makes it even say more complex, but it's not. So the teams that finish 5th and 6th will play that game at home against those at our 7th and 8th. Then that's one leg, which then goes into 2 legs when you're playing against 3rd and 4th. I mean, it's what the National League do. It's exactly the same structure as the National League. But you're right, Paul. A team can finish 8th and end up being promoted.
Yeah.
Just doesn't seem right. And I think it was yourself that said it actually when we were discussing between ourselves. Why can't we just have 1st, 2nd, 3rd?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make it as exciting, I suppose. I love the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. I love watching them when we're not involved in it. I can't cope with it when we're in it.
Yeah, they're not enjoyable, are they?
It's torture, in it, Mark. It's just
they're not enjoyable games, are they?
I think I must have aged about 15 years in that 120 minutes in Cardiff in 2002. Yeah. I think I actually look younger now than I did then. It was just horrible that. Even though we got there in the end, it was horrible, wasn't it? And obviously all them defeats as well leading up to it. Just horrible against Barnsley, Watford, Preston.
Yeah. They weren't fun.
But when it's not your team, then it's good to watch. And that's the only better way of getting promoted, though, is that I'll never have a better feeling than Darren Carter putting that penalty in Cardiff.
Yeah.
But it's just the journey there, isn't it? That's torture.
Yeah. You would hate to be finishing 3rd in the league, though. I mean, it's bad enough if you're 3rd in the league and you get through to the playoff final and lose the 6th. You feel gutted. But can you imagine just how it's going to feel for players if that does happen and it's 3rd playing 8th? I mean, it's just...
We've been the trusted experts since 1960 because nobody knows tires better than we do. And with over 90 tire brands, we have an abundance of options in stock for your vehicle. Buy and drive today at discounttire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
Yeah, in a way, it kind of makes a mockery of everything, but I understand that it's apparently generating more competition. I just see it as a moneymaker personally. You know, yeah, the clubs are going to get a bit, but so are the TV, and I think that's just what our friend Richard Golding has just said. It's all because of TV revenue.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's nothing else to it. And extra games for the subscribers. Yes, you're not wrong. And Sky will do anything to scrape a penny out of people's pockets.
Of course, yeah.
Obviously, the clubs will make money as well, though. Or, you know, on the sale of the tickets and that, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good to have you watching us there, Richard. Hope you're well, mate. Look forward to hearing you on the mic, hopefully on Wednesday night. Okay, I want to give the club a shout out as well for a fabulous thing that we did over the last sort of few nights. Was it Ramadan Streets?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never seen us do that before. I don't know if we have. I thought it was fabulous.
Love to have gone to that.
Yeah,
I was down there last Thursday evening.
Okay.
And it was absolutely superb. I didn't actually go into the kind of food area, but the atmosphere and the bringing together of people was absolutely superb.
Yeah.
You know, there were people queuing to get into the section. I think, you know, they've announced today the thank you for the partnership that did it all with them, but thousands of people turning up, and it was, you know, it was an opportunity for everybody to get together and obviously break the fast at the same time. The food was just, there was loads of different things around. Yeah, Cecilia, I can't disagree with this. It looked and smelt great because it did. It was just like walking up to St Andrews. It was just absolute bliss. But also nice to see the foundation obviously being heavily involved in that and supporting it, along with the backing of the club. And I hope they do it, you know, more, because it helps bring all the local community together.
Yeah, definitely. No, fantastic thing that we did there, and I'd like to think that won't be the first, you know, the last time that they do it. Hopefully they'll do that every time now.
Richard just said he thought they were all going for the Cheltenham preview evening.
Here we go.
That was a great feeling. I just hopefully I can go back to my club and get myself back into top shape again and continue where I left off last season. I think I ended this season really well.
What was that?
I couldn't hear anything.
He was he's on the top deck of the number 11. I know that.
Blaster.
You know it is though, don't you?
I think so.
Okay, I'll leave it for a bit.
Was it like an 80s power ballad? We got to guess the band as well as the player.
Oh look, I'll play it again. Right, I'll turn it up a bit. Actually.
Obviously, our team didn't do that well. We were fighting relegation for the last part of the season. Hopefully, this season that's not the case.
I couldn't hear it, so I'm out.
I could hear it.
If you listen carefully, you can hear me in the background asking for a selfie.
I can hear you breathing, Rogue.
Is it a goalkeeper?
It's not, no, it's not a goalkeeper.
Bill Mint has said, is it Olivia Tebele?
It is not Olivia Tebele.
Frank Higgins is definitely not Kai Wagner.
Muzza King, John Stern, I like that.
No.
There's actually 3 people have all said the same thing very quickly there, actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not Stern John.
it is Stern John, yes. Sorry.
It is Stern John.
Yeah, Stern John, yeah. And it looks like I've lost the Barnet, so carry on for a bit and I'll try and find them.
Well, hopefully you'll find it.
Hell.
But yeah, so I hope this season doesn't just filter out into nothing, you know, and we finish like lower than like 10th really. I want to try and finish in the top 10 at least. But the way we're going, it's not. What do you think, Claire?
So
let's have predictions. Let's have predictions. Sorry, Claire. Let's have predictions now on where we're going to finish this season. Go on, Claire.
After what I've just read,
Lee Hinton.
Away from home.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be happy with 10th or 12th, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I do worry that if we start to sink, we could be below mid-table.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to be in our old bloody rotten place of 17th again, do we?
So that is a possibility if people start winning and we don't.
Yeah. I'll say 13th. Sorry, you was going to say, Claire, someone said something.
So Lee Hinton's put this on X. He's worked out the shots on target for each away game.
Oh, I saw that.
8 games, we've had 1 or less shots on target, which is 45% of the games away. We've had 1 shot or less on target.
Wow.
We only average 2 shots per game. So the other day, I was researching this as well, and because I wanted to know how like what I'm paying for when we go away, and we only average 0.33 xG against Charlton. And I think that's where the frustration comes from a lot of the away fans is obviously, that's up to us if we go. And thankfully, I'm in the position that I can. But to see nearly 50% of the games, we see 1 shot on target or less. That's where the problem is. So, Paul, I totally agree with you. Striking coach, attacking coach is needed. And a difference. It's obvious the style of play isn't working away.
Yeah, it goes back to my comment, at the start of the show, doesn't it, about a boxer tied with his hand behind his back in a fight.
And when you've got Derby, Ipswich, Hull and Portsmouth as our last 4 away games.
Yeah, something's got to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with 12th and above.
Yeah.
I think someone mentioned on our group message regarding being overcoached. It seems like the style of play is overcoached. Like they can't... The flair players we've brought in, your Vicentes, your Osmonds, it's almost like they're restricted. They're told to go sideways and backwards. You know what I mean? So,
and it's interesting what people are saying on the message board, actually, in terms of the positions. So, Rich has said he thinks we'll finish 12th. Fraser Higgins, 9th. Jason Eustace said he'll stick with what he said in August, which will be 10th. Paul Bennett, 11th. Mick Greaves, 11th. Richard Hayler, 8th. Warren Wasser-Starling has said with the last few performances will be 12th or 14th.
I think 12th.
Paul Bennett has just basically said, and there you go, Claire, that's why Davies has to go. Bill Mintz, we've got the second best squad in the league. We should be walking into the playoffs. I would say if we'd got those players that we have now, we'd started a whole season out of pre-season together, I'd totally echo that. I just think we need a pre-season behind them all. And, the Buyers Hunt, just one last one, he's just said, we are definitely restricted 100%.
Yeah, it's frustrating away from home, isn't it? We need to just be more adventurous away from home and try and take the game to the opposition. Well, that first half at Norwich away was perfect.
100%.
Yeah, that was like perfect. But why can't we do that more often? Why don't we go out to take the game to the opposition like that more often? It doesn't make sense to me, to be honest. If we can do it to Norwich, then we can do it to Charlton.
we did it the first 10 minutes of Middlesbrough at home.
Yeah, I know we did. Yeah.
In both halves.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
No.
Mick Greaves has said he doesn't care as long as we finish above the Albion.
The other thing as well, you look at the teams above us, obviously in the top 6, they've all got pretty much experienced managers, haven't they, that have managed at this level before. Yeah. I just think if we can bide our time with Chris Davies, I think I'd like to think he will get better and learn from some of his errors, because he has got a few things wrong, and he'd probably admit that himself, wouldn't he?
Seems like he cares. That's what I think. That's where
he loves the club. He loves the club.
Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah. And he's definitely got the potential to be a really good manager. So I'm all for biding our time with him and seeing where we are. I'd give him sort of I'd address it at Christmas, basically. Get to Christmas and see where we are then. If we're no better then, after one more window in a summer and a pre-season, then I'd probably address it then. Yeah, but not now.
Yeah.
I don't think now's the time.
No. So just say though, on the positive front, the men might not be doing brilliantly, but the ladies are still second in the league. And we've got a few important games coming up. So Sunday, away at Southampton. It's going to be a tough game, but winnable. And then on the 22nd, we're back at home against Sheffield United. A game that has been dedicated to her game too. So there'll be lots of things going on that front on the day. But also, that is the first of our final 3 home games of the season in the league that, we really want to utilise to push on and get ourselves into the Women's Super League, which we should be able to do. The key thing, though, is getting people down there to support. So 3 games announced, all the details on the Blues website with the ticketing arrangements. But as they've put, 3 games at home to take us where we want to be. So Sheffield United at home on the 22nd of March. That is a 2:00 kickoff. The next home game will be the 1st of April. It is a 7:00 kickoff against Sunderland. 5th of April sees us in the FA Cup quarter-final against Manchester City at St Andrews. That was at the moment scheduled in for a 2:00 kickoff on the 5th of April, which I believe is Easter Sunday. And then finally, we end the season at home against Ipswich Town on the 26th of April.
Craig, can I ask why have they changed it when we're away at Portsmouth? Because it's a shame, because a lot of people would have gone to go away. And it's such a shame, because I don't get why they've made it like that when it could be a big game.
It's, from what we understand, it is a television thing again. So it's been chosen to be broadcast. So for those that haven't seen it, Birmingham's last game of the season is away at Charlton. Charlton are currently flying away at the moment at the top of the league. They're still catchable, but it's obviously going to be very tough. So the last away game was scheduled to be the Sunday on the 3rd of May. That's now been changed. So actually, the men's last game of the season kicks off at Portsmouth, I think at 12:30 on the 2nd of May. The last ladies' game kicks off at 3:00 on that same day. So we are missing out on fans travelling to that game, which is incredibly, incredibly frustrating. But what I would say is we still want to be down there and celebrating. So for those people that can't get to the Portsmouth game, obviously the allocation, I think, will be a lot lower than some of the other games. So if you can't get to those games, but you can get down to Charlton, come and back Amy and the ladies in their final game, where we should be celebrating our promotion back to the Women's Super League. And, that's what's going to be important. I am looking to run a coach, so through the Women's Official Supporters Group. So if anybody is interested and would like to join us as part of that, get in touch and we can provide the details on the day. We'll be travelling down, obviously, for a 3:00 kickoff, so we'll try and get as much of the men's game in as possible as well, even if that means we're all watching it on phones and iPads and everything else on the coach. But we'll do it. But I agree with you, Claire. I think it's daft that it's been changed. They should have kept it as the Sunday. We'd have had a wicked amount of people following down then. Even for those that have gone to the men's, I think could have done it. And it would have been great just to see a few more faces down there than we're now possibly going to get. But again, if you're down in London, Mr. Chairman, if you're listening, I expect to see you at Charlton. And if you are, the first pint will be on me. So, if you can get down there though and support it, it'd be amazing.
I've got a story about him. When I used to take my eldest daughter to preschool, she kept talking about this young boy, saying, he's my boyfriend, you know what they're like. I said, all right. Anyway, waiting in the queue, and this guy walks over, and I was like, and I was into football. Before I was a Blues fan, it was a Premier League games, so he was in my sticker book. Do you know what I mean? For Sheffield Wednesday. I remember thinking, it's that Graham Hyde. I remember my little girl, I went, what's his second name? This boyfriend? She went, Hyde. I was like, brilliant. So anyway, you smile and that. And he went to talk to me and I just went, all red and like quiet. I was like, I'm starstruck. But yeah, I've seen him quite a few times, obviously with the schools and everything. Yeah, my daughters grew up with his son.
Yeah, he was a tidy player, to be fair.
He went about player.
Good family.
I think I remember him on the front cover of the 97-98 DVD when Granger scored against the Baggies.
Yeah.
Sort of running off after him, and celebrating. Yeah. So, good times. Nice kit that was as well, wasn't it? The 97-98 home shirt. Or 98-99, sorry.
98-99.
Yeah.
Is that weird? Is that weird material, wasn't it? It's like that breathable sort of material.
Yeah.
Is it wool?
Hey?
He was itchy, wasn't he? He got an itchy sort of filter.
Yeah, he's all scratchy.
It's like what you wear in prison, Mark. I mean, you should know what it's like.
Yeah, it's like a boiler suit, yeah.
Woolen underpants.
Yeah. Last few minutes then, let's do our predictions.
Just before that, we did a straw poll earlier on our group. Would you like to see CD in charge next season? 47% said yes, and 53% no. So it's pretty close-ish.
The thing is, you don't want a revolving door again. You know what I mean? You don't want to be in danger of a new manager.
No.
Like we've had it all before. Yeah. You know, when have we ever actually stuck by somebody and given them the time to have a little blip? You know what I mean?
Stability is key. And if you look at, I think it was Norwich when they were going back into the Premier League, and his manager's name is totally gone out. Farker, yes. Now, Farker in his first season stabilised the team, and they finished mid-table and everybody was calling for his head. The following season, everybody had gelled and they stormed the league. So the question is, do you want to go with stability and give it a go, and do we give him chance? Or like you say, does somebody pull the trigger now and see change? I'm all for stability, always have been, because I just think as a club we need it. But there is only so far he can go. So it's close though, it just shows in that.
Yeah. And I think we have to be transparent and put it on anyway, I mean.
It's just the away form he needs to look at and improve. Yeah.
Home. Needs a plan B. It needs some experience. It needs someone to be like, you need a plan B, mate. Yeah. And we need to go forward.
And Mick Harkwell has said, if we ask nicely, Tally will put that shirt on in a minute.
Oh, no, not tonight, Mick.
Right, okay, so predictions for Wednesday and Saturday. Wednesday, obviously, QPR at home. I think we'll bounce back, and I'm going to go for 2-0. Saturday at home to Sheffield United, I think will be a much harder game, and I think we'll draw that 1-1. Claire?
To me, it's the performance that I really care about, to be fair. They've got to come out and show us what they can do, don't they? So I don't worry when we're at home. I actually think that we can get some results. I mean, QPR's got 1-1 all over it, hasn't it? We both haven't had very good results. And I think we'll get 1-1 against Sheffield United as well. Just depends which Blues turns up. If it's home Blues, we've got a chance. If it's away Blues, no. I'll take a draw.
It's not very often we turn up at St Andrews as away Blues, is it?
Very rare, but we did against Middlesbrough, and there has been a couple of games. Baggies we did. But I'd hope that we can beat QPR, because that goal still haunts me in the 96th minute.
I know. Yeah. Rob?
I think we'll bounce back against QPR. I think we'll scrape it. So I'm going to say 1-0 against QPR. And then on the same, I think it'll be a draw on Saturday. I'm going to go 2-2. I think it'll be a tough game.
Craig?
1-0 Wednesday and 2-1 on Saturday. I just think we'll get back into winning ways. And whilst I'm not going to say it's going to be the prettiest of games on Wednesday, I think actually what you're probably going to see is more of a Birmingham side that doesn't want to concede. So actually, it might not be pleasant football to watch, but I still think we can beat them. And I just fancy us against Sheffield.
Yeah. Tally?
Funny team.
I think we, again, I echo what my wife just said to me on a message. Get behind our team. We are the best team, in the Midlands when our fans are cheering them on. So I think they bounce back on Wednesday. We beat them 2-0. And then Saturday, like Paul said, it's going to be a tough game. They've picked up some good form there of Sheffield United. So I'd be happy. I want to win, but I think worst case scenario, 1-1.
Is that definitely what your wife said as well, by the way?
100%.
She knows what she's talking about, Tally. Come on.
Yeah. Just get behind them, and that's it. I mean, you know, we've this podcast has primarily been based around Chris Davies, and you know, the polls say what they say, but we just need to get behind him. He's there. He's in that position. He's our manager. Yeah, he needs a bit of advice. He needs to change bits. But ultimately, our ground, when we're singing and we get behind the team, definitely that could be anybody.
And Cecilia totally agrees with your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I. I think I've got one off my wife as well. I'm not going to open it just yet, though.
You keep going cold, Paul. That's what it is.
And last but not least, Chris?
I'm going to go for two draws. I'm going to go for a 0-0 and a 1-1. Yeah, okay. In that order.
And just on the message board, Fraser Higgins 1-1, and then he thinks we'll lose 2-1 on Saturday. Mike Hill saying 3-1 against QPR, 2-1 against Sheffield United. Warren Wasser-Starling, 3-1 on Wednesday. He thinks we'll lose 2-1 on Saturday. Dave Twine is saying 3-0 and 1-0. Benji Smith, 0-0 Wednesday, and he thinks Sheffield United will beat us 1-0. Last two that are there, we've got Simon Harper is saying Wednesday we're going to win 1-0, Saturday 1-1, and finally Shadow is saying 0-0 against QPR and 1-1 on Saturday.
And is that the end, Chris?
And that's the end. We've done. Oh crikey, we've gone over, haven't we again?
Yeah. Oh, so wow. Thank you to all our viewers for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. We've been the Tilton Talk Show. Rest in peace, Phil Summerill. We've been the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by AMG Logistics. It's good night from me, and it's good night from Tally Jones.
It's a good night from me, but before I say that, let's get behind them. Like I said, keep right on, and let's go out with a bang. 10 games, let's win every one of them.
This is when they need us most.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. And that's a good night, Craig Courtney.
And it's a good night from me, and to echo Paul, rest in peace, Phil Summerill. Condolences again to all of the family, from myself, my family, and all of the fans. And I'll hand over to Claire Wildham.
It's good night from me. Come on, Blues, let's get some performances in. Show us you want it. Show us some passion and fight, and we will always be there to back you. We support the club. Keep right on. And good night from the Robe.
Good night from me. Echoing what everyone said regards Phil, the absolute legend. Rest in peace. Come on, Blues. Let's bounce back. Have a nice positive show next week. And I'll hand you over to Chris. And
it was Phil who said, I'm looking at the chair you sat in right opposite me here. And it was Phil that said, well, it up there. Get behind your team. Get behind your team. He said how important it was when he heard the crowd. Do you remember, Craig?
Yeah. He was always saying the same thing, that having those people back in the field was the best thing ever. And to walk out to a wall of noise was something that they didn't always get, but when they did, they certainly knew about it.
This podcast is brought to you by Coral, and they're here for the fans. At the Fan Network, we have a mission to shake up the game we all love, and that's why we partnered with Coral, who've been shaking things up too. With their free-to-play reward shaker, there are guaranteed rewards and exclusive offers to be won every single day. Whether you're a part of the Badging Brigade, the Away Dayers, or the Football Fashionistas, Coral's here for the fans. Play Coral's reward shaker and win bigger guaranteed daily rewards and offers this season. For over 18s only, maximum one reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions and requirements and other T's and C's apply. Visit gambleaware.org for more details.
The Jack Welch Management Institute at Strayer University helps you go from I know the way to I've arrived with our top 10 ranked online MBA. Gain skills you can learn today and apply tomorrow. Get ready to go from make it happen to made it happen and keep striving. Visit strayer.edu/Jack Welch MBA to learn more. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.